Mutual invitation is the second tool we'd like to share with you today that we use here in the Iowa River Valley under the Love First tools. Mutual invitation has a great value because it allows each person to speak and to be heard. And what we're finding is the conversation in a very short time brings up almost every issue you would typically find in a dialogue. Sometimes a dialogue actually creates a barrier for the conversation as two people get going back and forth. Mutual invitation permits that to be spoken. The next person can respond to it or say something completely different. And by the time you're done with an entire group being able to speak in this way, usually we find all the issues, the biggest ones, have come out. Mutual invitation is the process that allows each person a chance to be heard without being interrupted or criticized. Mutual invitation is something that you can use during the theological reflection here in a moment, that you can also click another button and find that third tool. You'll use it. But I've also used mutual invitation multiple times in a group when the group is starting to get caught or stuck on a conversation. To then switch to this tool allows each person to speak without being interrupted, allows each person to invite another person in the group then to speak after they're done. After you take your turn, you invite someone else to share their thoughts. Everyone takes a turn and you're allowed to do one of three things. Options are to speak, to pass for now, to pass. Pass for now simply means I'd like you to come back to me, and so someone would invite me back into the conversation at some point before we conclude. If you say pass, you're basically saying I really don't have anything to add to this conversation we're having right now, and you're allowed to do that. I'll give you an illustration. If I were to invite the person who's behind this camera right now, I would say to him, Brian, I would like you to share with the community. Brian then would have to decide what he wants to do. He can speak to the issue that we were talking about. He can pass for now, which means we'll come back to him, or he can pass, which means he doesn't have anything to say on this particular topic. Now once he's done, the rest of the group waits quietly, and Brian then invites the next person into the conversation. I'd like to invite you, Sue, into the conversation. Sue then has the same three options of which she decides. Mutual invitation isn't near as easy as you may think. We have to discipline ourselves not to dialogue. In our culture, we are very comfortable with dialogue. In a group that gathers, if there were 12 people in this room, there would be 3 or 4 that would speak very fluently and probably more regular through a conversation. There'd be a couple that wouldn't speak at all, and there'd be some others that would interject from time to time. Mutual invitation creates an equality in the room and allows each voice to be equally heard. It's really a discipline that is, as I said, much harder than you think, but it also has a value that's quite amazing. I invite you to try it.